Good morning, mamas. I'm so glad to be here. I'm Heather Sullivan with Leila Photography, serving mamas in the greater Waco area as a maternity, newborn, and childhood photographer, but also loving to bring you the Monday Mom Minute, where we explore resources that are available to mamas in our area. And so today I am with Rianna Alvarado. I know her from the chalk walk, and then following her on Instagram. But I think you're gonna love hearing from her. So welcome.
Thank you. It's so good to be here. I love your studio.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
Thank you.
So inspiring. The space.
So I know. So we kind of have a funny way of meeting. I had said I wanted to be part of the chalk walk, and they said, we'll choose an artist. And then I amazingly got hooked up with you and loved the art that you did on my behalf.
Thanks.
So thank you. That's still I still just love it and love showing the video of it. But then I started following you on Instagram and realized that you are serving moms too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you're serving a population, kind of the preschool population. Mm-hmm. And so I just wanted to invite you in and let's chat about what you do and just everything. Okay, because I know that you're definitely an artist, obviously, and then you also have this gardening component. So just tell us more about you and what you do.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's hard to here's what I am. But
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm an artist. I love painting. I'm a writer. I have a blog. I'm writing some books in my very spare free time, whatever. That's actually how all of this started. Is it's I need to fund my self-publishing goals or whatever, and so I started teaching art and realized that I absolutely love teaching people outside of my family, which I just didn't expect. You're a homeschool mom. You're doing it because of various reasons or whatever. Anyway, and I just absolutely fell in love with it, and so it basically kind of changed my whole path really. Into just going into teaching whatever. So yeah, I teach art. Creativity is how I like to say it, just because we have some things around what art might be or whatever, and gardening. And I think they pair really well together. Yeah. Being outside takes away our inhibitions, and I don't know, in our culture now, a lot of even young kids kind of exhibit that, oh, I'm scared to make a wrong stroke, or it's not going to look a certain way, and I want this to solve all of that. So we're outside in the sunshine, we're in our studio in the rain, whatever. We're just being inspired by nature.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And you're right, because being in the class, coming from the classroom myself, I used to see that fear of not being perfect or it not being the right way. And so they just didn't have that freedom didn't feel that freedom to explore. So what age are kind of your classes? What does age does that
really? So anywhere from 2.5 all the way to, right now we're doing 12s. As my kids get older, I'm going to add in older stuff.
Sure.
But the reason why we do that is because I want to serve families and a lot of homeschool parents, and we do a lot of homeschool classes and stuff like that. We serve other, whatever, if you're not homeschooling as well, with our workshops and our summer camps and winter camps. But, we have a lot of ages. I have a 3-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, or 11-year-old, and a 17-year-old. So that way the whole family can come. Even if just one child is enrolled, the whole family can come.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
But we have the preschool class and the regular class that's 5 to 12-year-olds roll at the same time. Okay. So if you have older kids and younger kids, they can all come the same day. You don't have to be okay, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays we have to go to this class. So it's
right.
And that's kind of changed over the course of the last 3 years to modify what we're doing to make it easier for the parents. Because as a homeschool mom, I don't want to be running all over the place all the time.
Right.
We have other commitments and stuff.
So you've you've figured out a way to accommodate families. That's awesome.
It's kind of staggered, just a 30-minute overlap, and it really works out well.
Okay, so I'm following you on Warm Honey Toast, but tell me, so your actual studio is Artphoria.
Yeah, Artphoria Studio and Garden. Yep. And Warm Honey Toast is the name of my website, blog.
Okay.
And my Instagram handle, and that's because that's what the essence of Artphoria is this ritual that I learned from an author that I really loved, and she would do this ritual with her kids where she would make warm honey toast right before bed. And so in the education we do, it's Waldorf, and so it's very holistic, very much like Montessori and Reggio Emilia, but where you're looking at the whole child. In schools, often they can't get the whole child because of the nature of it, and that's unfortunate, and that's not their fault. So we're doing more than just linear, thinking and stuff. We're hey, we're I love you. I see your heart. How can I help you today? So, like, if a kid comes into class and they're having a rough day, which we all do,
Right.
maybe one of my assistant parents can take them to the bunnies and they can hold a bunny for a while,
Right.
you know, until they're ready to come into class, that kind of thing. So it's a holistic way of approaching everything. And so warm honey toast, it to me says that, you know, because it's like this sweet ritual that we do with our kids a few times a week or whatever before bedtime. We make some really good sprouted bread. We pour our honey on there, and we do have bees at our house too. And, you know, we have maybe some chamomile tea or something like that. And it's just a way to, like, transition into bedtime.
Sure. Yeah, and I love that, because there is, you know, when you're in the traditional education system, there's so many parameters that you function inside, and yet as a preschool teacher, you know, knowing that every kid is different, and sometimes just
as a teacher, you want to support that, and you can't always in that model. Unfortunately, you know, they do the best they can.
Yeah, I love that, because who wouldn't want to cuddle a bunny? I mean, really.
I mean, I need bunny time. Yeah, so I get it.
That's awesome. And so I know, just like, I'm just blown away, because I feel like you have such a natural approach to art. I love that you do things. Following your page is so much fun, because I'm just always so curious. I mean, really, I just want to come to your class because it looks great. And so I know that parents would love having their kids in there. But so just tell us. It looks like you've brought some stuff, because I know you do natural dyes and fun things in your class. And so you are having a class in April that you're going to tell us about, just so that they would know what maybe future classes would look like. And then you said you have a summer camp. So just tell us a little bit about what's coming down the road, and then what you guys do.
Sure, yeah. So we run spring and fall seasonal classes. That way we can really incorporate the art and the gardening. Those are like prime gardening times. And we do, we start out with like a show and tell, and like getting kids warmed up. We do poems, and we do book readings, and then we do hands-on gardening stuff. And then we may be doing art right after that, and then we do lunch together. And then we do definitely an art project after that. But sometimes the crazy art stuff we're doing, it's like we have to do it in like 2 or 3 different times. So it's all over the place. And then we make sure that it's got a beautiful rhythm. So there's time for free play. So kids are coming up with their own games and are building forts, or, you know, digging in the sand. We have a beach back there. So, you know, they can like bury themselves, or they do all kinds of crazy stuff, make volcanoes with the water hose, whatever. And we have water features too. So, and then what's really beautiful is it's all these ages are able to like play together. Yeah. Which is just, it's really important. It's not something you do get in other, you know, educational environments as well. You get to learn and help younger or older kids or whatever. So yeah, then we have summer camps, we have winter camps, and we have workshops coming up. So I'm hopefully in May. So again, I'm a homeschool mom, so I'm doing all this by myself and with my other teacher. And so I'm trying to keep that work-life balance. It's really important for me to make sure that I'm not stressed out, because I want to come from a place of like wholeness and not like just trying to like check boxes or whatever. So I'm always like, sometimes things are like flexible, but we're going to be starting workshops up really soon, which I'm excited about, because it's going to be on the weekend, so it can open up to other students who maybe are in school, or maybe they're busy on a Thursday, which is when our classes are at. And it's going to be many, many things, but one of the things I'm really excited about is our open studio sessions. So the idea is like, and they're going to be more age focused. So like you could bring your 2 and 3-year-old, or your 3 and 4-year-old, or 4 and 5-year-olds would be together. And they just get to like explore open-ended art projects without like the pressure of it needs to look like this certain thing. Sure. So that they can leave home with a certain thing, but it can look like whatever they want to. So if they're just smearing paint with their hands for an hour, that's great. You know, or using different stamps, and we'd have just different things, and it would change based on what the workshop is or whatever. But I'm just really excited about that, because it gets more into process art, which is about the journey, which I think we all need to, like as adults, as creatives, like understand, or like allow ourselves that it's the process that is like the point, really, you know? So if we create this beautiful masterpiece, but we were stressed out the whole time, and there's these deadlines and whatever, you know, that's going to be in that. And you're going to remember that. It's going to kind of be imprinted, even though, it's beautiful. Like, you made it. But if we're, like, present in the moment, you know, and we're creating, it doesn't matter anymore what it looks like, right? Because we were there with the process. Anyway, and so I want to be able to offer that and instill that to kids at a young age, so that they're freer creatively growing up. And that's going to help with, engineering. It's going to help with whatever they decide to do. They don't have to be in the, creative world in general, because creativity helps everything. And account it.
And I love that. I love that so much, because I'm thinking back, I'm like, okay, I wish my now 16-year-old had experienced that, because I think especially too, some of us, maybe us Enneagram ones, or people that think that there's right or wrong and we have to do it this way, that is an important thing, to be able to be exposed to that and get a little bit of freedom.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm always seeing you dye things through natural means. So like, show us some of your stuff.
I brought a few examples just because they're so fun. We use natural materials when we can. So like wool and silk and natural cottons and stuff like that. This is a silk, so this can be this, like I'm king of the world or whatever. Or it could be, a stick for wanding. It can be so many things. So this is silk, and the kids were able to kind of use like a what is it? Reduced. Whenever you do the wax on there, I can't think of the name right now, and then you paint over it, and then you're left with it. It's not block printing, but it's something. I can't remember the name right now. And then this is just like a cotton canvas bag. We dyed with avocado pits. And then my daughter actually carved this out of like a block, and then block printed it on there.
Wow.
And it's gonna stay forever. We treat everything in a way where it's like we pre-treat it and whatever, so it's gonna last. So I mean, that's part of it too. Is like I don't want to, as much as possible, we want to think about the earth and things like that, and being kind to people, being kind to earth, being kind to ourselves. And so things that are going to last is important. So instead of just a lot of crafty stuff that just ends up in the bin right afterwards, and that's okay, because like we need to be able to do that in order to learn and stuff. But as much as possible, we want to try to use some natural materials. And like, here's just a fun painting that the kids did. And again, we're like outside on easels painting, so it's just so fun. And this is of a rooster. The kids got to do a still life of this rooster statue that we have. We also have chickens and rooster, but so we're using nature as our inspiration as much as possible as well, because wow, it's endlessly inspiring, right?
It is.
Yeah. In April, we're going to be doing our theme. It's always based around a theme. Our seasonal classes are. It's going to be fairies, and we're going to use fairies to learn about herbs, because there's a curriculum called Herb Fairies. So we're going to learn about spring herbs and how they can be medicine for us and stuff. And this is the lady who inspired that theme, Cicely Mary Barker, and she began painting at 16. So it's also a great story of like, hey, we don't have to wait till we're adults to start doing something. And that doesn't mean you have to do that forever. But she had some health issues, and so she was at home, and she really was inspired by nature and loved different artists, and so she did this. But let's see, this will take like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But I'm going to read this. I flipped to this morning, and I was like, this would be perfect, because we incorporate a lot of like poetry and stuff into it, because I think it's important, and it kind of puts us in a different mindset. So this is the song of the sweet pea fairies. So here the sweet peas are climbing. Here's the sweet pea rhyme. Here are little tendrils helping them to climb. Here are sweetest colors, fragrance very sweet. Here are silky pods of peas, not for us to eat. Here's a fairy sister, trying on with care, such a grand new bonnet for the baby there. Does it suit you, baby? Yes, I really think. Nothing's more becoming than this pretty pink. And this is one of her works. And in the springtime, in April and May, sweet peas are what we're planting and what we're enjoying.
Yeah.
It's the fragrance that we're, sticking our nose up to. So I decided, I was like, I just turned to that. I'm going to have to read that. It's just so perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. First of all, just thank you so much for being here and sharing all of this, because I feel like maybe it'll give parents a little taste, and they can start checking out what you're doing and when your classes are, because I think it's so amazing. I just feel so blessed. Like, I feel so blessed that our paths crossed, and I was able to see your art and and then get to, kind of know you through Instagram, and ran into you at another creatives event. And just, I love that, because, it just, the natural approach and the things that you do, I find inspiring to just watch and see. Yeah. And I know your husband videos, and you guys have such great videos of the kids really enjoying nature and what they're doing. And so I just highly, highly encourage you guys to check out her Instagram, or I'm sure, where else can they find you?
Yeah, Instagram, and I'm on Facebook too. I just like cross post, and I have a blog and like a website with a lot of information, and I try to keep it up to date with the workshops. That's warmhoneytoast.com. But even just like, because we're busy as moms, if this is not the season of life for you to go to a class that feels overwhelming, hopefully on the blog, it could help you with how, just like homeschooling, how to approach things,
Sure.
that kind of stuff. That's why I try to write about from a very like understanding perspective, and then also just like different art activities we're doing that you could then do at home. And I love DMs, like I love emails, whatever, because I really just want to support families anyway with creativity and gardening. So
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you for sharing that with the world, because that's amazing, because your gifts are blessing others. And then, you guys, I just highly encourage you to seek this information out, because I think it's just coming from as a mom, as a teacher, I just think that what you're doing is powerful. So thank you so much. And thanks again for being here. And we are so thankful that you joined us. Please do follow us on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube. And we'll see you next Monday.